Addressing the situation of an 800 amp feed using two sets of 3-conductor 500 kcmil cable with an undersized number 2 ground, and the need to comply with code requiring a number 1/0 ground for the 800 amp equipment, it is permissible to run a grounding conductor externally to the multiconductor cable. This resolves the non-compliance issue without necessitating a special order for cable with a correctly sized ground. Here is how to add an external grounding conductor. Firstly, identify the existing cable size, which in this case is 3-conductor 500 kcmil. Secondly, select a grounding conductor sized according to the National Electrical Code, specifically Article 250.122. For an 800 amp service, a number 1/0 copper grounding conductor is the required size. Thirdly, connect one end of the number 1/0 grounding conductor to the equipment grounding terminal of the 800 amp equipment. Ensure a secure and proper connection. Fourthly, route the grounding conductor. Run the other end of the grounding conductor along the exterior of the multiconductor cable. This route should extend to the main service panel or the grounding electrode system. Fifthly, connect the grounding conductor to the ground busbar or another appropriate grounding point within the service panel. If routing to a grounding electrode, connect it securely at the electrode. Sixthly, secure the grounding conductor. Fasten the grounding conductor securely to the multiconductor cable and any other structures along its path. Use cable ties, clamps, or other suitable means designed for this purpose. Ensuring the grounding conductor is properly sized, securely connected, and protected from physical damage along its entire length is crucial. If there is any uncertainty or discomfort in performing this work, consulting a qualified electrician is highly recommended. The NEC Table 250.122 dictates the minimum size of equipment grounding conductors for grounding raceway and equipment. In this specific scenario, the overcurrent protective device is rated at 800 amps. Referring to NEC Table 250.122, with an 800 amp overcurrent protective device, the minimum size copper equipment grounding conductor required is a number 1/0. Therefore, the existing number 2 ground is insufficient and needs to be supplemented. The external number 1/0 grounding conductor rectifies this deficiency. The grounding conductor ensures a low impedance path for fault current to return to the source, facilitating the rapid operation of the overcurrent protective device, such as the circuit breaker or fuse, in the event of a ground fault. A properly sized grounding conductor is essential for electrical safety, preventing hazardous voltage from appearing on metal equipment enclosures and reducing the risk of electric shock. When selecting the grounding conductor, copper is generally preferred due to its excellent conductivity and corrosion resistance. However, aluminum is also permitted, provided it is sized according to NEC Table 250.122, which typically requires a larger aluminum conductor than copper for the same ampacity. The grounding conductor must be installed in a manner that protects it from physical damage. Where exposed, it should be secured to the surface or structure to prevent it from being snagged or damaged. If the grounding conductor is run underground, it must be suitable for direct burial and protected from corrosion. All connections to the grounding conductor must be made using approved connectors and methods. These connectors must be listed for grounding purposes and properly installed to ensure a low impedance connection. Antioxidant compounds may be necessary for aluminum to copper connections to prevent corrosion. The path of the grounding conductor should be as short and direct as possible. Avoid sharp bends or unnecessary loops in the conductor, as these can increase impedance and reduce the effectiveness of the grounding system. The grounding conductor should be run in the same raceway or cable tray as the circuit conductors whenever practical. This helps to minimize impedance and ensure that the grounding conductor is exposed to the same environmental conditions as the circuit conductors. In situations where the grounding conductor cannot be run with the circuit conductors, it must be run as close as possible to them. This minimizes the impedance of the grounding path and ensures that the grounding system functions effectively. When connecting the grounding conductor to the equipment grounding terminal, ensure that the terminal is properly sized for the conductor. The terminal should be listed for grounding purposes and securely fastened to the equipment enclosure. The grounding conductor should be connected to the ground busbar in the service panel or the grounding electrode using approved connectors and methods. The ground busbar should be securely bonded to the service panel enclosure and connected to the grounding electrode system. The grounding electrode system typically consists of one or more grounding electrodes, such as ground rods, ground plates, or metal water pipes. These electrodes must be installed in accordance with NEC requirements and provide a low impedance path to earth. The grounding electrode system is essential for providing a reference point for the electrical system and ensuring that fault current can safely flow to ground. Regular inspection and maintenance of the grounding system are essential to ensure its continued effectiveness. Check the grounding conductors, connections, and electrodes for signs of corrosion, damage, or loosening. Repair or replace any damaged components promptly. Verify the integrity of the grounding system by performing ground impedance testing. This test measures the impedance of the grounding path and ensures that it is within acceptable limits. If the ground impedance is too high, it may indicate a problem with the grounding conductors, connections, or electrodes. The NEC provides specific requirements for the installation and maintenance of grounding systems. Familiarize yourself with these requirements and follow them carefully to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. In addition to the NEC, local electrical codes and regulations may also apply. Check with the local authorities to ensure that the grounding system complies with all applicable requirements. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety and should not be taken lightly. If there is any doubt about the proper installation or maintenance of the grounding system, consult a qualified electrician. Grounding provides a path for fault current, which is critical for safety. The size of the grounding conductor is determined by the size of the overcurrent protection device. The overcurrent protection device in this application is 800 amps. NEC Table 250.122 dictates a number 1/0 copper conductor or a 3/0 aluminum conductor is required. The existing number 2 ground is inadequate. Running an external ground wire allows for compliance with the code without replacing the entire cable. Firstly, the ground wire must be connected to the equipment grounding terminal of the 800 amp equipment. Secondly, the ground wire should be run along the exterior of the multiconductor cable to the main service panel or grounding electrode. Thirdly, the ground wire must be connected to the ground busbar or other grounding point in the service panel. Fourthly, the grounding conductor should be secured to the cable and other structures with cable ties or clamps. The grounding conductor must be protected from damage and securely connected. An undersized grounding conductor can create a dangerous situation if a ground fault occurs. The increased impedance of the smaller conductor will limit the flow of fault current and may not trip the overcurrent protection device quickly enough, increasing the risk of electric shock or fire. The grounding conductor should be as short and straight as possible. Sharp bends and long runs increase impedance, reducing the effectiveness of the grounding system. The grounding conductor must be securely connected to the equipment grounding terminal and the ground busbar or grounding electrode. Loose or corroded connections increase impedance and reduce the effectiveness of the grounding system. The grounding conductor must be protected from physical damage. If the conductor is exposed to physical damage, it should be protected by conduit or other suitable means. The grounding system should be inspected regularly to ensure that it is in good condition. Check for loose or corroded connections, damaged conductors, and other signs of deterioration. Any problems should be corrected promptly. A qualified electrician should perform all grounding work. Grounding is a critical safety issue and should not be attempted by unqualified individuals. Article 250 of the National Electrical Code covers grounding and bonding. Section 250.4 covers general requirements for grounding and bonding. Section 250.24 covers grounding service supplied alternating current systems. Section 250.122 provides the details for equipment grounding conductor sizing. Proper grounding is essential for electrical safety. Follow all applicable codes and standards to ensure that the electrical system is properly grounded. The number 1/0 grounding conductor needs to be continuous and without splices. If a splice is unavoidable, it must be made with a listed connector suitable for grounding and bonding. The grounding conductor should be run as directly as possible to the grounding electrode or the service equipment. Avoid unnecessary bends or loops. The grounding electrode system should be properly installed and maintained. The grounding electrode should be driven deep enough into the ground to provide a low impedance path to earth. The connections to the grounding electrode should be made with listed connectors suitable for grounding and bonding. The grounding electrode system should be tested periodically to ensure that it is functioning properly. A ground resistance tester can be used to measure the resistance of the grounding electrode system. The resistance should be low enough to provide a low impedance path to earth. If the resistance is too high, the grounding electrode system should be inspected and repaired or replaced as necessary. The grounding system should be inspected visually on a regular basis to check for any signs of damage or deterioration. Any problems should be corrected promptly. If there are any questions or concerns about grounding, consult a qualified electrician. Grounding is a critical safety issue and should not be taken lightly. Ensure that all grounding connections are clean and tight. Corrosion can increase resistance and reduce the effectiveness of the grounding system. Use an antioxidant compound on aluminum connections to prevent corrosion. Ensure that the grounding conductor is properly supported and protected from physical damage. Use cable ties, clamps, or other suitable means to secure the grounding conductor. If the grounding conductor is run in a conduit, ensure that the conduit is properly grounded. If the grounding conductor is run underground, ensure that it is buried at the proper depth and protected from physical damage. If the grounding conductor is run in a wet location, ensure that it is suitable for wet locations. If the grounding conductor is run in a corrosive environment, ensure that it is resistant to corrosion. If the grounding conductor is run near flammable materials, ensure that it is fire resistant. If the grounding conductor is run near explosive materials, ensure that it is explosion proof. Use appropriate personal protective equipment when working on grounding systems. Wear safety glasses, gloves, and other appropriate personal protective equipment. De-energize the electrical system before working on grounding systems. Use a voltage tester to verify that the electrical system is de-energized. Lock out and tag out the electrical system to prevent it from being accidentally energized. Follow all applicable safety procedures when working on grounding systems. Be aware of the potential hazards associated with grounding systems. Avoid contact with energized electrical equipment. Avoid contact with sharp objects. Avoid contact with hazardous materials. If you are not qualified to work on grounding systems, do not attempt to do so. Hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Properly grounding the electrical system is critical for safety. Follow all applicable codes and standards to ensure that the electrical system is properly grounded. Table 250.122 in the NEC provides specific guidance on grounding conductor sizes based on the rating of the overcurrent protective device. The table lists the minimum size of the equipment grounding conductor for various ampere ratings. For an 800 amp overcurrent protective device, the minimum size copper equipment grounding conductor is number 1/0. The table also provides guidance on the minimum size of aluminum equipment grounding conductors. For an 800 amp overcurrent protective device, the minimum size aluminum equipment grounding conductor is 3/0. The grounding conductor must be installed in accordance with the NEC. The NEC provides specific requirements for the installation of grounding conductors, including the type of conductor, the size of the conductor, the location of the conductor, and the connections to the conductor. The grounding conductor must be properly sized, installed, and connected to ensure that it provides a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source. A low impedance path is essential for ensuring that the overcurrent protective device will trip quickly in the event of a fault. If the grounding conductor is not properly sized, installed, or connected, it may not provide a low impedance path for fault current to flow back to the source. This could result in a delayed tripping of the overcurrent protective device, which could increase the risk of electric shock or fire. Therefore, it is essential to ensure that the grounding conductor is properly sized, installed, and connected in accordance with the NEC. The NEC also provides guidance on the maintenance of grounding systems. Grounding systems should be inspected regularly to ensure that they are in good condition. Any damaged or deteriorated component should be replaced promptly. Grounding connections should be checked to ensure that they are tight and free of corrosion. Grounding electrodes should be tested periodically to ensure that they are providing a low impedance path to earth. By following the NEC guidelines for the installation and maintenance of grounding systems, you can help to ensure the safety and reliability of the electrical system. Remember to always consult the latest edition of the NEC and local codes for specific requirements in your area.